them Glockerers, man. I love that. Arteta, there's no left wing. There's no left wing. He can pull out to the channels if he wants, but come on, man. As much as I like all the nerdy football stuff and everything Arteta does, like, I just feel to a degree we got to go back to basics. Slap this guy up front. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. We ain't got time for that. I did cover this in a previous video. Big up to you lot that watched it in relation to, like, I went more in depth and read the article. But I do want to ask you lot something. What comes to mind when you lot see this? Arsenal have spent 187 million. Do they need to sell? What is their PSR position? Who could go? Do we need to sell? What do you think our PSR position is? And who do you think will leave? Let me know in the chat, people. Mods, please make sure we're running up the like button. Although Arsenal may not have to sell this window to comply with PSR, that doesn't mean they don't want to sell. The club's owners want Arsenal to be self-sufficient and want to see them make use of player trading to maximize their resources. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. All with a view to sustainably reinvesting as much as possible back on the pitch. Fair play. Arsenal's ownership want the... Oh, sorry, seen this already, people. You see? Always trying to make sure I don't miss nothing else out for you lot. Despite posting losses for the last 6 consecutive years, Arsenal is on a relatively solid footing for PSR rules. It's estimated they could lose up to 97 M's in 2024-25 and remain compliant. So that tells me not that it's advisable for a business, but we could just take the hit. We could. We know we're not in any issues with PSR. Obviously, I'm not against being self-financing, nor am I against the rhetoric if the Kroenke sat there and said, you know what? There's a couple players on some big money. We're not really making any money coming into the club. Let's get a bit of a hold on that. I don't think that's wrong to say, yeah, let's do that, if I'm honest with you. I really don't. So, yeah, man. Arsenal remain open, apparently, to the prospect of further strengthening their squad if a suitable deal presents itself. Although any additions are likely to be in the attacking department. Real Madrid's Rodrigo and Newcastle United's Anthony Gordon, we've heard that before. Both left wingers are admired by the club. I mean, it's a difficult task prizing Gordon out of Newcastle for us on the best of days, let alone with them with Isaac going. Can forget about that. We've also explored a potential deal for Crystal Palace's Eze, as we know. Big up hand of Arsenal. He has spoken, and he's the only one I'm really listening to when it comes to this, if I'm honest. The release clause does indeed have an expiry date that comes into effect before deadline day, but I'm not sure this changes the value Palace have priced on Eze. Now, I think we all know Arsenal at this moment have no intention of paying that release clause, so we've got to make an offer in some way that makes sense to Palace, or pivot towards other targets. Arsenal and Palace have engaged in talks, multiple sources confirm. As of today, Palace are looking for approx 30 mil as a first payment for any agreed deal. Listen, Zinny, Nelson, Lokonga, all of these guys cut from my team, find that 30 million and let's keep it moving. And in fact, on the topic of Liverpool, just because I can see Marcel's comment, they've just sold Diaz to Bayern Munich, right? Vincent Kompany, if you're a real manager, if you're a manager of your word, you once called Lokonga the next Yaya Toure. If you're really a man of any conviction and integrity, you'll buy Lokonga today and take him to Germany today and show us today that he's the next Yaya Toure. For the small price of 50 million euros, of course. Personal terms are not an issue. No further advancement as of today. Has Hand of Arsenal spoken about anything else in this? Okay, we'll just keep it moving and circle back and see stuff. At this point, people, we saw this yesterday in the Athletic, but just to keep you up to date with the Eze stuff, we retain an interest in Eze. The England international has many admirers at Arsenal and would be keen to move to North London. In theory, it looks like a straightforward deal. Eze has a release clause in his contract worth in excess of 60 million. I wonder how many times I've read that. 60 mil stuff. Arsenal, however, have had reservations about paying the full clause for a player who turned 27 last month. If Crystal Palace were to drop the price in the remaining weeks of the window, Arsenal would be keen to proceed. And I mean, it's almost the end of July. We've got a long way to go, people. Naturally, sales would also give any boost of an Eze deal considerably. A new contract for Nwaneri reduces the urgency of Arsenal's Eze pursuit, but does not appear to have ended it entirely. What do you lot make of that? Especially the Nwaneri stuff, people. So, yeah, Ben Jacobs has said Arsenal in talks with Palace over Eze. Palace seeking Eze's release clause triggered or matched. Match that. Just give them favourable terms, man. None of this, we're going to give you 30 million in the year 3,000. Just make Berta, I know you got to play. You know, in Berta we trust. It's different now. The Hermes belt's real. Edu was wearing boot cuts. He's not serious, man. I'll relax. Eze remains keen on the move, and Arsenal bid outside of the clause is still anticipated. Now, very rarely does the first offer get accepted. Clearly, what I like from this is I don't know if Ben Jacobs is or isn't credible, but I think he's done decent this summer. On top of what Hand of Arsenal said, at best, when it came to this Eze stuff, it was Arsenal talking with his advisors. Okay, that's cool. You want to sign for us? Tick. Really, personal terms not a problem. Cool. But official dialogue, because Eze can want to join Arsenal, we can want him as much as we want. If you don't agree something with Palace and the deal don't make sense or whatever, you can't sign. So if we're really in some level of talks with Crystal Palace, I'm here for this, man. Palace, allow us, man. You lot saved us from Eddie, from Matt Turner, from Rob Holding. Allow us, man. Let your boy Eze, well, he's of Super Eagle heritage. Let him fly, man. Let the eagle fly, man. Come on, man. Let it happen. And then if we further get into this Eze stuff, Crystal Palace want chunk of 67.5 million Eze fee up front as Arsenal talks continue. Naturally, if I'm Crystal Palace, like, cool, you don't want to activate his release clause. This deal needs to make sense. This ain't no little idiot thing. Are we going to do potentially what we've done with Zubamendi and even back to Torreira, which had nothing to do with everything, where we're if you let us tailor the deal in a certain sort of way in the payment terms, we'll even give you a bit more. I don't know, but Palace asks for 35 million in advance if the deal goes through. So the initial upfront fee is going to be 35 mil. If it doesn't happen, naturally, it's no two deals are the same, but naturally people are going to paint towards the Madueke stuff. Arsenal have been informed, that they would have to pay more than half of Eze's release clause upfront to sign the England forward, with Crystal Palace determined not to allow him to leave for less than a fee that could reach up to 67.5 million, including bonuses. It's understood Arsenal officials, and apparently Berta's in Singapore or Hong Kong now even. I mean, he could have got on Skype, but you never know. It's understood Arsenal's officials have held initial talks with Palace over a deal for Eze, who has 2 years left on his contract at Selhurst Park. So this is probably not, I mean, Eze is always going to be in high demand, but in terms of a position of strength from Crystal Palace, probably the strongest going to be. He's got 2 years left. It sounds dumb, but a year from now, he's going to be 28 with 1 year left. And they'll still make a profit, I guess, regardless of any fee on what they took from QPR, in which I wanted him since those days. But you get the point. And he might start agitating people. Palace are believed to have indicated they're not willing to accept any bids below the 27-year-old's release clause and want 35 million in advance, with the rest of his initial fee, 60 million fee, due in installments. Bro, this writing is hella small. The clause includes up to 7.5 in add-ons and is thought to expire before the Premier League kicks off on the 16th of August. Although that is not understood to affect Palace's valuation of the player. They signed from QPR in 2020 for a fee worth up to 19.5 million. QPR believed to be due a sell-on clause of 20% if he departs. Arsenal understood to have met with his reps last month to discuss personal terms. He's thought to be keen to return to the club where he was released as a 13-year-old. Having committed more than 200 million on 6 players during this window, Arsenal hoping to move on several fringe players that could fund a move for Eze. There is interest in Leandro Trossard from other Premier League clubs as well as Borussia Dortmund, with the Belgian forward yet to sign an extension on his deal that expires next summer, although Arsenal have the option to extend it by 12 months. Okay, maybe that's why we're a bit relaxed with giving Trossard a new deal with more money, but not the length, and keeping the terms the same kind of. Nelson is being targeted by Fulham, while Lokonga, Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira would also be allowed to depart for the right price. Now, Zinchenko, we'll get onto it. He's been linked with Fulham and a bunch of clubs. Trossard's been linked with a couple Premier League teams, Saudi, actually some Italian clubs, so on and so forth. Zini, every now and again, there's links somewhere. Fabio Vieira's been linked with West Ham. Lokonga, I'd say you need to, in terms of ability, Lokonga, you're the shittest of all them names there, but Nelson's on big wages, as is Zinchenko. Fabio Vieira's probably on something a lot more as well than Lokonga or something. I think those need to be moved on first, but could Lokonga be the hardest to move on? Would also be allowed to depart for the right price. Yeah. Personally, I just think permanently we just want to move Nelson on regardless. The same with Lokonga. Zinchenko, I think it more depends on how we feel about the left-back situation, and Fabio Vieira, there's nothing here in it. Like, Dalman's done better than you, respectfully to you, because you've had a couple cameos, Brentford away, off the bench at the Emirates a few years ago against Fulham. Big up you for obviously assisting Gabriel Jesus a couple of years ago against United, but horrible, man. So yeah, people. He's wanted by Liverpool. I don't know what's going on there. Glasnier has spoken, the Crystal Palace manager. As of now, I have 17 outfield players. I hope we don't lose anymore. Considering you're going to be in Europe, that don't sound good. If that happens and we get 4 new ones on deadline day like last year, another false start is possible. And apparently he has yet to open talks about extending his own deal at Palace, which expires the end of next season. Boy. So yeah, man, at this point, we're well aware of what the Eze thing is saying now. See, again, smash the like button. I try to make sure I don't miss anything. I don't really care about this Rodrigo stuff because I quite frankly think it's nonsense. But to entertain you lot, Arsenal's pursuit of Real Madrid winger Rodrigo could be revived in light of the growing interest from Dortmund and Premier League clubs in Trossard. The Gunners have held talks with Rodrigo's camp earlier this summer to sound out the possibility of a blockbuster transfer. The Brazilian is facing an uncertain future at Real Madrid, who have frankly told him they will listen to offers for him this summer. Apparently, Xabi Alonso, the higher powers at Real Madrid, have done that. And apparently, even like super agents have been hired to kind of facilitate a move. Simultaneously, his close circle are fielding offers. But it still appears that despite all of this, everyone around Rodrigo is braced for what's about to happen. At least what we're being told is he still wants to stay in it. And there's a long time in the market. I'm not saying Arsenal are going to grab him. I don't know what's happening. Out of all of them, I'm very pessimistic on Rodrigo. Just put Eze in the bag, innit? Rodrigo has seen his game time diminished dramatically in recent months, and the situation appears to only be getting worse under Xabi Alonso. Despite this, the 24-year-old has yet to make a final decision on his future. This frustrated Arsenal, and they ultimately moved on to other deals, with the priority, of course, being the now completed signing of Victor Gyökeres. Talks have also been held over Eze as an alternative to Rodrigo for left wing, although the interest in him is not completely linked to the Real Madrid star. Arsenal had initially wanted to sign both, as Eze is actually more comfortable centrally. And then again, there's a lot of conflicting reports with Trossard, even the fact that we want to keep him now, apparently. But we are led to believe Martinelli and Trossard could be departures to kind of make this kind of thing happen. And once again, Trossard's being linked with Borussia Dortmund people. We saw a few days ago that actually Trossard and Zinchenko are set to stay at Arsenal following talks with Mikel Arteta. Apparently, Andrea Berta is rather bullish on committing the futures of Bukayo Saka and William Saliba. At this point, we're going to wait until we see some official confirmation. Arsenal have told Trossard they will not stand in his way of an exit. He is ready to depart, with the wingers camp now working on options. Both Napoli and Atalanta have joined the race for the winger. I mean, Atalanta, good move. Italy, lovely country in that. Napoli, Italy, lovely country, lovely team. Makes sense, innit, really? Kevin De Bruyne, your countryman over there. And your age, I guess you want, I think for him, he probably knows, like, I might not start ahead of Martinelli or Madueke or Eze or Rodrigo, whoever comes in. I might need to think about contract length. I might need to think about money, which probably you're going to earn the most at Arsenal, but you get where I'm going. Trossard is increasingly likely to leave Arsenal, having attracted interest from Dortmund and Premier League clubs. The sale of Trossard would help Arsenal fund moves for a left winger and Eze indirectly, yes. Fulham have made an approach to sign Zinchenko. Fulham have been in talks with the player's camp since early June, and they're now considering making a formal bid, with Arsenal valuing the player at around 15 million. Would you take that? Would you accept that? The only thing that would stop me is I don't know how I feel about left back. I know you've got Timber, Miles Lewis-Skelly and Calafiori, but there's a lot of games. That's the only thing. But I would accept it. Take the money, free up the wages, keep it moving. It is what it is. You can't help us like that. I've read this a couple of times, but shout out Real Madrid for targeting Max Dowman and potentially offering us Raul Asensio and Arda Güler plus some money for William Saliba. So I really believe this report. Shirt sales for Victor Gyökeres broke the club's record and exceeded any player in recent history. And also crashed the website. We're catting in it, people. Liverpool have won the race to sign Will Wright, people. Crucially, however, the player preferred to move to Merseyside, in part due to geographical reasons, but also due to the attractiveness of Liverpool's project. So Salford were forced to accept a lower offer. I mean, wish you the best of luck. Hope you want every young player to thrive. I mean, if you go through Liverpool's academy, Liverpool's under 21s into the first team, great, you've made it. If they've spent, I don't know, 250 grand on you and you become good but not quite good enough and they sell you for 10 million, Salford will benefit from that indirectly. Gary Neville, I know Liverpool fans don't want to hear that, and keep it moving, innit? It's the same as things I've said with Chido Obi Martin. Fulham have made an approach to sign Zinchenko. So what's going on with Reiss Nelson then? You know what? Little deal for you. Just give us 40 million for both. AC Milan are said to be interested in Zinchenko. I don't really believe that. They're still apparently in advanced talks for Nelson. I mean, what? Are we hoping that in the next 2 hours, these lot leave Arsenal's training camp and keep it moving? I'm saying this with a heavy heart about Nelson, but you're 25 now, man. You need to keep it moving. Like, it's just not going to happen here. What's this? Arsenal and Liverpool may have been handed a massive boost in the race to sign Rodrigo. Let's just skip the crap and see what they're talking about. Yeah, Liverpool trying to sign Isak. We got Gyökeres. Apparently, early in the window, Marsa and Cadena Sá stated that Real Madrid valued the Brazilian at £76.8 million, 90 million euros. That price has now dropped, according to AS, with offers to below the mentioned figure. But it probably is contingent on moves away. Gabriel Jesus and Nelson have been linked with moves to Flamengo and Fulham. There's talk of Trossard leaving. Obviously, Nelson probably will leave before the window shuts. Odegaard has spoken about Gyökeres or Goikarez, as I think is the right way to pronounce it. I don't know, people. Just score goals. With the language and everything, it's been easier for me to help him. We can speak our own language. Scandinavians, they always bond well together. Yeah, bond on the pitch, man. Get him assists. Break the assist record and break the goal scoring record. So in that way, it's been really natural. But to be fair, it's like with any new player. Every new player, we tried to help them in the best way possible. That's what it felt like when I came here. I felt at home straight away. I felt good. The culture and the environment was to get into. I felt how good the culture and environment, was to get into. Maybe I do need glasses because I can't really see this. Yeah, where was I? Everyone just wants to help you and get the best out of you. Then it's important also how you do things off the pitch. That's what we all do. So we're just here to help. So far, he's having a good time, I think. I think you all see what he's done in his career so far, especially the last season at Sporting. The numbers speak for themselves. He's a very complete player. He's physically strong, fast, good finisher, intelligent as well. I think he's a very complete striker. But my guy, you can also see the hunger, the energy he brings. I'm really excited to have him with the team. He's only trained a few times, but you can see the quality, the energy, and the willingness. I'm excited to have a pitch with him. It's been a while since we played this type of game, so I think that's what we all want. Obviously, the North London derby's mad. To be fair, I think the whole squad is really good in this way to help the young players as well. You say with those two, they're so young and have so much quality. I think myself, I just tried to share my experience, guide them in the right direction. And to be fair, Max Dowman, all these young players, Saka to a degree, Max Dowman, Wanyeri, Odegaard's been through that, innit? So it could help. Even Gyökeres, because he made his debut back in his homeland at 16 before going through the highs and lows, which is what gives me positives with Gyökeres. You've had good moments, bad moments, been doubted, been praised. You're in that, you arrive at Arsenal in your peak, 27, proving the doubters wrong, proving hard work and whatnot, but you're in that kind of leveled playing field. Because of the good moments and the bad ones, when things are going right, when things are going good, don't get complacent. When things are going wrong, don't get upset. Just keep that level-headedness. When things are going good, it's not that you need to find things to find that are bad, but you get where I'm going. And when things are going bad, you need to also keep going. So I'm happy with that. And that's something for the young players, because right now, Dowman's in the wow moment. Everyone's wowed. He's not going to be the first nor the last player. We know what this country does. They tear these players down. We've seen it all the time. We live, unfortunately, with the media. When Jack Grealish is out here boying Almiron, people are finding humor around it. Miles Lewis-Skelly's being killed for reacting to Haaland. When Haaland asked him who he is, we know what it is. And even that, completely off topic, yeah. I'm not even going to say the journalist's name, even though we need to start naming shaming. Shout out Chloe Kelly and England's Lionesses. But did you not see the Daily Mail's report where they were talking about how Chloe Kelly's a beacon of hope, which he is, and all of this, and he's just flipped it to Rashford. And I read the arc. He just complete. Rashford ain't got nothing to do with it. But unfortunately, it's not going to stop, innit? It's not going to stop. Shout out to everyone all around the world who's not a piece of shit like some of these journalists, if I'm completely honest. But I digress. People. Just trying to help them to have the right mindset and to help them feel good in the team and to let them shine and do their thing. They've been amazing on this tour, and you can see all the quality. It'll be exciting to see in the future on the North London derby. I love it. I think we all do. I think we're all excited, to play in front of so many supporters as well. Mikel said here, we really felt that love and the connection. It's been a while since we played this type of game, so I think that's what we all want. And yeah, for me, it's a good thing that we get a proper test. Can't be any worse than Newcastle, and something that means a little bit more, with the derby. So I think we're all just really excited and eager to play. I think the support and the reception we've had here has been amazing. Yesterday, we arrived at the hotel. There were people everywhere and shirts everywhere. We really felt that love, when we came. And today in the stadium, around 20,000 people to come and watch us train. The game tomorrow is sold out. So yeah, we really feel that. It's really special, and it's amazing to travel so far and still feel that, so it's something we really appreciate. It means a lot to us, to make people happy and to make people enjoy football. So yeah, that's really good. Big up Odegaard, but I actually just wanted to see what Mikel Arteta had to say in the build up to the game. Obviously, we know how big the London derby is. It's abroad. It's great for the rival. Well, it's great for the rival fans and our fans to see that if you're not obviously exposed to that. On Martin's experience playing at a young age, he's obviously praised it and likened it, and kind of what Odegaard just said, how he can help the Max Dowmans, the Marley Salmons, and the rest of it. What we kind of care about is, not that we don't care about that, but the Gyökeres business. Yeah, I understand he's only done today's session. Yesterday, very little. We're going to have to assess today or tonight how he is. If the medical staff are happy as well with his condition to participate in tomorrow's match, it's a possibility. We're going to discuss that tonight. With the rest, everyone's going to be okay, apart from Big Gabby. I've told you, lot, Big Gabriel, that's now going to be 3 games going on there. If I don't see you in the Emirates Cup or whatever it is, I'm getting a bit nervous, you know what I mean? He's still out, and probably Calafiori is going to be a bit too early for him. Nice to see Calafiori in training, but you know what? Wrap that you in cotton wool and leave him, man, because I don't know if let's leave him. I think you've all seen what he's done in his career so far, especially the last season at Sporting. The numbers speak for themselves. He's a very complete player. He's physical, strong, fast, good finisher, and intelligent as well. I think he's a very complete striker. And you can see the hunger and energy he brings. I'm really excited to have him with the team. He's only trained a few times, but you can already see the quality, the energy, the willingness. I'm excited to have him on the pitch. On the size of the squad, well, I said I was extremely happy with the way that we approached the window and how aggressive we've been. There's still a long period with the window open. So far, we're happy with what we've achieved. Make sure that at the end of the window, we'll continue to be super happy. Super happy as super players. Eze, let's go. On helping Gyökeres settle in. Oh, this is Martin Odegaard. Sorry, we've gone over that already. I don't want to keep doing the same things. On Arteta and Victor wearing the 14 shirt, which there's rumours that he wanted the 9. The 9's taken, 14. I think I used the word conviction. That's the first thing that I noticed when I spoke to him. Someone very determined, someone that was really already attached to the club. The way he was talking about the club, the history, in this case, Omri, and what the shirt represented, I felt it. When you feel it, go for it. On what the shirt number means, we know what it means, man. Obviously, big up the Hong Kong fans, but I'm not going to waste your lot's time with that. Thomas Frank, you're a gentleman, but you support them, man, so forget all of that. On handling pressure, people, where Gyökeres is concerned. I think it already has, you know, because when the news broke and when you realize the magnitude of the club that you're going to be representing and how viral everything goes so fast in these days, I think his immediate reaction was, wow. When he sees, you know, the way we were received again yesterday, the training session that we had, pardon me, with 20,000 people, the stadium was sold out in 2 hours, and 50,000 people being in that incredible stadium tomorrow. So I think you're going to have a very good first impression, that's for sure. Come on, big up the atmosphere. Goals of the seasons. Well, do better than the previous one, and we all know what that means. You see? Don't give me no nonsense to you lot in the chat, because he's answering how I answered. No excuses. Win something. So again, I think everything starts with preparation in terms of how we build the squad, in terms of how ready the team is going to be to start to compete from day one, and everything that we've seen so far. The feeling that I get straight away is very positive. So yeah. Fair play in that regard. 4 p.m. I'm going to have Kenny Ken and DJB. So yeah, I'm going to ask them about Max Dowman, piss off Kenny Ken about doing this as well, ask about Eze and any other things you lot got. And don't forget, tomorrow's the big one, folks. Make sure your notification bells are on, because it is Arsenal against Spurs in front of 50,000 people. You know what? Shout out everyone who's made the journey to Hong Kong. So yeah, we'll be deactivating permanently. These dons, yeah, are hella emotional. These I can't listen. Big up you lot for doing the social media thing, but you lot are fucking emotional, like. But anyways, what shall I leave it on? You know what? I think it just looks a bit better with that. So yeah, big up yourself, Farouk. Question to the entire chat: does that include me? Who in here don't like the blue kit, or which kit do you guys think looks the best? I don't know, man. Certain content creators, they must really be deluded, because when the kit first came out, we was all here and they were saying, "Oh, the blue kit looks rubbish," and they've changed their opinion, completely flip flopped. I've never said that. I think the blue kit is wavy, if I'm honest with you. Rashford can be smelly and he makes mistakes, but bro, it's clear racism. Everyone thinks racism is calling him a fucking nignog and all this stuff. Like, it's the microaggressions, and that's just not extended to him. It's everything. You've got racism, and then I feel